everybody, I'm Paulie G. Welcome back to the Paulie G Show, coming to you live from high atop Mount Georgia. How are you today? Happy Friday. It's a beautiful day here on Mount Georgia. And don't be fooled by the closed blinds. I just did that because there's a lot of glare coming in. But as soon as I'm done making this video, the windows are going to be wide open. Fill the house with fresh air, and you got to enjoy this nice weather because, you know, the nice weather isn't going to stick around too long here on Mount Georgia. We're heading into the colder season, so got to enjoy it while we can. But today, Telecaster, Squier, Baritone. What a combination. Man. So a couple months ago, I was in a local guitar shop, really good quality local guitar shop. Not one of the big box stores, not Guitar Center. Nothing wrong with them, but not there. But in this place, they had a whole bunch of new Fender Squier, stuff. And my eye was drawn to this double-bound sunburst body, which I thought was really cool looking. Picked it up, sat down, went to go play it, and went, wait a minute, why is this neck so long? Why are these strings so heavy? Wow. And then I quickly realized, this is a baritone Telecaster. I never heard of it before. It's amazing. Thought, this is great. So, I'd actually been wanting a baritone for quite a while. And like most people, I was looking at, the Dana Electros, right? That seems to be the most popular brand. They're really good quality. They sound great. They're not real expensive. They look pretty cool. So that was the direction I was going to go until I saw this guy. And I thought, man, I love Tellies. I want a baritone. It's not expensive. Plays pretty good. Seems to sound pretty good. I think we're getting this one. So here it is. So it's really fun. Now, a little bit about baritone guitars, if you don't already know. So first of all, the scale is really long. It's like a 27-inch scale. You're getting into that right between a bass and a guitar kind of situation, right? The strings are really heavy. I think these are like 14 to 68 up here on the bass string. So heavy, really heavy gauge strings. But the most important thing is the way it's tuned, right? So tuned the way it's designed to be tuned is it's tuned to fifths the way a regular guitar would be. The same intervals are there, but it's tuned to B. So it's a perfect fourth lower than your standard E-tuned guitar. So if you think of it this way, if you put a capo on the 5th fret, then you'd be back in your standard tuning, right? So the chord shapes that you would make are the same. You don't have to change your shapes of playing the way you do with an open tune guitar or anything like that. But the chords you're going to get out of them are a fourth lower, right? So, for example, an E major position is going to give you a B major. An A shape, which is going to start with this tune, which is tuned to E, is going to give you an E major. A D shape is going to give you an A. A G shape will give you a D. And a C shape will give you a G. I think I got that right. Yeah, pretty sure. So, it's cool because it's a different tonality, it's a different sound, and it gets your mind thinking in different ways. And that's really kind of why I wanted it, for that inspiration of writing and creating, and presumably recording. So, I haven't written anything on it yet. I haven't really been so busy. I just haven't had time to play it nearly as much as I want to. But every time I pick it up, I'm already getting just new ideas, new sounds, and that's the whole idea, right? So I always say, if you get one good song out of any guitar, it paid for itself, right? So, I really had wished that I had one when I was recording North and South about a year and a half ago. By the way, available on all of your favorite streaming systems, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all those great things. Look for it. Paul, Georgia, North and South. Get it. It's great. You're going to love it. Shameless plug. But there were a couple songs. One in particular that comes to mind. There was a little lick that I wanted to play on the chorus of Blue Star Highway. And I was like, man, I really wish I had a baritone today. It needs that. It needs that little, little lick. So what I wound up doing is I took a Gretsch and I just tuned it down to D, my E string down to D, and it came out pretty good. But I had really wished I had a baritone to do that. That if any song ever was asking for a baritone, it was that lick. But next time I'll have the guitar for it. So yeah. So you think of it in different ways. Like I'll just play a quick progression, which is going to be an E, A, D, and if you think of way that those are three chords that you play every day on a regular guitar, and there's a million songs that are in those three chords, and they fit together because those are also in the E major scale. But just think of how different that sounds on a baritone when I play it. Really different, right? I mean, yeah, it's quite a change. So yeah, it's a really different vibe. But again, if you're playing with other people, you're going to have to figure out those calculations in the chords. You get used to it after a while. Like I was playing with a jam track with it just to kind of get used to that, making those chord calculations in my head. And as I was doing it, I was like, wow, this is really interesting how different those chords sound on one of these. So yeah, just another fun tool, and I think every guitar player, if they don't have one, at some point you're going to want one. You're probably going to want to get one. But the great thing about these is like a Squier, for example, or even a Dane Electro. You're not spending a fortune because you don't really want to, right? I mean, it's not a guitar you're going to play every day and just go, I can't wait to, go home and spend 3 hours, playing my baritone, guitar. But so you don't want to spend a lot of money. But on the other hand, you want something that's going to sound pretty good and have good decent quality, right? You always want to have something that's playable. And this one, it really fit that bill. I mean, stylistically, it fits me. It's a Tele. It's it's Sunburst. I love the double binding. Quality-wise, yeah. I mean, it's good. The only thing I'll say, I mean, I love the neck on it. The only thing I'll say that I'm not really thrilled with is the front pickup is kind of a dud. Really low output. Really nothing there. I don't see any reason why I would want to use that pickup. So that's kind of a ding in the quality. Whereas a Dane Electro, when I've played those, like every pickup has a cooler sound to it than that front pickup. So, but the back pickup on this is great, and you're getting that that Tele twang. Along with the baritone sound. The other thing, I guess the only other thing I'll say about playing baritones is, they're not really great for like just strumming. Just. I mean, unless you're one of these metal guys, that's what they do, right? Playing these bar chords, one of these, and that's cool. But for my ear, it seems like you want to ring the chords out and arpeggiate them, rather than strum them, because it gets real muddy, especially down in the first position, second position stuff. You really. You want to be mindful and not use a lot of gain. Try to play this in as clean a setting as you can. But if you do all that, I mean, man, there's just some really, really cool sounds. So that's it. I really want to do my Les Paul video. I've got a bunch of Les Pauls I want to show, but I just didn't really have time to put that together. It's Friday afternoon. I'm trying to wrap up the week. Got a million things to do this weekend, gigs and tomorrow and stuff. So that's all. I will say goodbye for now, and I hope you're all doing fantastically and you're staying healthy. And until next time, this is Paulie G saying, when it comes to guitars, you only need one. More.